You can pet a cat and then pet a kangaroo, and that will be the end of the kangaroo if you haven't used hand sanitizer first. Toxoplasmosis is what can exist on cats. That is why pregnant women ought not to scoop a cat box, but for our pregnant ladies, that is in effect at around 15,000 parts per million. Fatal to a kangaroo at 5 parts per million. Not 5,000, but 5. All right, this first guy we're going to see is Coda. Go, come here, baby. Go. Come here, baby boy. This one is a looking animal, not a petting animal. He has big sharp claws and big sharp teeth. This guy is a coati mundi. This guy comes from Central and South America, technically North America as well. They were all over Mexico. In Mexico they would call this a coati. Coati mundi means nose and belt. They consistently sleep curled up with their tail around the outside and their nose like it's stuck in their belt. In Mexico they call them coati, which means the lonesome one. These guys are just starting to range up into Arizona and New Mexico a little bit. There they call them coatis, which is short for coati mundi. This guy is a tree creature. He is called an arboreal creature. Long sharp claws let him run up a tree as fast as he can run across flat ground. He can run down a tree as fast as he can run up, because his feet go completely backwards when he's going down. He'll go down head first with his feet backwards and just skitter down a tree as fast as he can run across flat ground. This guy is an omnivore. He will eat absolutely anything. The long sharp claws and long wiggly nose tell us he likes to dig for food. So in the ground he would be digging for bugs or grubs or worms. He would eat any small lizard or amphibian he could find. He could eat any small animal that he could get his claws on. This guy likes to run up into the trees, and in a tree he will wipe out bird nests and squirrel nests and such as that. He also eats any fruit or veggie you offer for him. This guy's favorite food in captivity, he loves hard-boiled eggs. He likes boneless, skinless chicken breast, boiled, not fried. He likes pizza, but he is not a fan of Little Caesars. He and I can knock out a Papa John's meat lover's pizza with quickness. His very favorite thing to do on the farm is to run up the trees out in the petting farm, and he'll shake the branches like this, and the goats will run around and go, "It's raining food, it's raining food," and he'll sit on the top and go, "Ha ha, you fools," and they all have a wonderful time at it. This guy was bottle raised in the living room until he was 8 months old. The end of his in-the-house career is when he found out that his favorite thing to do is unload the cabinets daily, and there is no child-proof lock that will keep him out of anything. Because if he can't open it with his hands, he can bite through it with his teeth. His teeth are bigger than what looked like could possibly be in his mouth, because he has a gap in his top jaw, and his bottom tooth goes all the way through his top jaw and is pretty much tickling the top of his nose. So that bottom, what we would call a canine tooth, he doesn't technically have canines, but what we would call a canine tooth is about 1.5 inches from the bottom and about 1 inch from the top. So big sharp teeth. This one is a pet animal. The two in the next stall over are a breeding pair. The female is the one that's up high right now, and the male is the one that's down low. The female normally would be honey brown colored like this guy is. She's gray right now because we hope she's pregnant again. When they do have a baby, it is super cute, and it will ride around on my shoulder. This is what a baby one looks like. And they stay with mom for about 5 weeks, and then they ride on my shoulder until they're about 4 or 5 months, and then they can go be an ambassador animal for another farm, or they could be a pet for someone. But it takes these guys a while to learn to whoop and sit up on your shoulder without taking your skin with them. But this is Coda, the coati mundi. Good boy, Coda. another arboreal creature meant to live in trees. This guy has a good size, shape, and color to hide out up in the trees. He is entirely friendly. The only reason I pick him up with gloves is when he's off the ground, he tries to grab on. Those claws are pretty doggone sharp. But once he's on the ground, he's totally a pet. This guy is a minimum of 18 years old. We say that because we know where he's been for the last 12 years, and he was already 5 feet long when those people got him. And it takes 6 years for him to reach 5 feet. So that would make him a minimum of 18. If you guys would like to pet this guy, when you pet him right here, he feels all rough and bumpy. If you pet him here, he's like sandpaper. If you pet him here, he's like leather or a purse or something like that. He is a good, you're welcome to pet him. He is a good size, shape, and color to hide in trees. His brown legs blend in with the branches. His green back blends in with the leaves. But then in addition to his natural size, shape, and color for hiding, he has a form of mimicry. Mimicry means pretending to be something you're not. His form of mimicry is the round circles on the sides of his face. So when when something is coming toward him that he's afraid of, he turns his face sideways like this. And he hopes that what's coming toward him is going to say, "Woo! Look at the eyes on that thing, it's got to be huge," and then run the other way. Because if he closes his eyes and he shows these round circles like they're his eyeballs, if he really had eyes that big, that would be one huge animal. So he's trying to make the thing run away from him instead of run at him. This next one right here is a bearded dragon. This one is a good size, shape, and color to hide in the sand, and sand is in the yes. This one is a good size, shape, and color to hide in the desert. And then, in addition to her natural size, shape, and color being good to hide in the desert, this one also has a form of mimicry. That's pretending to be something it's not. Who can guess what this one's mimicry is? It's a little tricky. Go ahead. So this one, the needles going down the sides of it, it wants an animal to say, "Nah, I don't want a mouthful of needles. Not going to eat that for my lunch." And the reason it's mimicry, not defense, is these needles are fake. They're not sharp at all. They're just to make an animal say, "Yeah, I'm going to find something else to eat for my lunch instead of this." If you'd like to hold it, 2 hands. There you go. Pass it around carefully, all right? All right, this next one is a leopard gecko. This one is a good size, shape, and color to hide absolutely nowhere. This one doesn't have any good way to hide. So this one's only defense is mimicry. Does anybody have an idea? It might take an adult to have some idea what this one is mimicking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it too. So many lizards or amphibians in the wild that are brightly colored are poisonous. So this one is out there in the wild, not even hiding. It's just strutting it out loud and proud. You don't want to mess with me because I might be... Exactly.
This one don't hurt at all. It's not spicy. See? Oh my goodness. Like fishies? That's a pet.
Alright, this is another iguana. This is an iguana just like that is an iguana. But that dude is at least 18 years old. This one is 1 year old. So it has taken it 1 year to reach that length. I guess you would call that a cubit. And this one will take at least 6 years to get as big as that one over there is. This one is an albino iguana. And this one, you can tell it's albino by the red eyes. So albinoism doesn't mean white, it means lacking pigmentation. So a fully albino animal will look white or pinkish. A partially albino animal will just have less color than the other ones do. When they look like they have pink eyes, they actually do not. Their eyes are full of a clear, please don't pull its tail. Their eyes are full of a clear viscous liquid that has no color to it. And you're seeing their red blood cells behind their eyes. This one is pretty fast. Be real careful holding this one, all right?
Here, you can get him back.
guy might need some help holding that. Hang on. Oh gosh, let me get a hold of him. I got something for him to hold. Alright, these ones are tortoises. You guys saw tortoises up in the petting farm. Those were Sulcata tortoises. And so are these Sulcata tortoises. Why don't you guys sit down so we don't all crowd each other? Spread out a little bit so you're not all in each other's lap, alright? Okay, so these are little Sulcata tortoises, and you can pick these up. Just be careful of them, alright? So the 4 tiny ones are 1.5 months old. The 2 that are a little bit big, sit down. Just sit down, buddy. The 2 that are a little bit bigger are 1 year old. So those are the exact same kind of tortoises that you saw up in the petting farm. The ones in the petting farm, the biggest one is the male. He is named Frank when he's 15 years old. The next bigger one is the female. Her name is Fiona. She's about 20. Those 2 weigh about 85 pounds. These ones are little babies of the exact same kind of tortoise. So when they come out of their shell, of course, they're this big. Those smaller ones are still about the size they came out of the shell. They're 1.5 months old. The 2 bigger ones that are about like that are 1 year old. It'll take them about 5 years to reach this size. So if you have one of these as a pet, you don't really have to rethink your housing for about 5 years. You have to think this over. Then after they get about that size, they really take off pretty quickly. But for about 5 years, that's as big as they're going to get. The Sulcata tortoises are native to Africa. The reason they also call them horned tortoises because they have spikes all over the fronts of their legs. Their winter behavior is they use those spikes like a steam shovel and dig 8, 10, 12 feet straight down underground. Then they dig up and build a shelf so they don't drown if it rains real hard. The problem with them digging is that they can come up on a really shallow angle. They might come up 50 feet from where they went down. So we don't want them digging out here in the petting farm. So in the petting farm, that little brown house with a shingled roof has a heated floor. That keeps them good down to about 35. If it's colder than that, we bring them inside of this barn. Guys, these are live animals. We're not going to argue over them. Alright, parenting tip. Tortoises, super easy pets. Everything they eat comes from the produce department. You chop up a teaspoon of veggies for them until they're about a year or so old once a day. That's all there is to it. The iguanas, super easy pets. They eat exactly the same thing the tortoises do. We have the 2-year-old ones and the iguana, the albino iguana in the same pen in there. The bearded dragons, super easy pets. Those ones will, that one's favorite thing to eat is cilantro. It likes everything you put into salsa. So it likes peppers and onions and tomatoes and leafy greens and cilantro, all that kind of stuff. And then that one does need protein, but it can get its protein from little balls called bearded dragon food. You don't have to feed it live if you don't want to. I don't recommend buying a gecko. Those ones only eat live crickets. And you can spend the rest of your life driving back and forth to PetSmart looking for the one day this week that they have live crickets. And if you live 15 miles away like I do, that is a significant pain. So we get our bugs shipped in here so I don't have to drive back and forth to Cleveland every single day. But that is a significant challenge to keeping any kind of gecko. So tortoise is easy, iguana is easy, bearded dragon fairly easy, geckos I would steer the other way, and chameleons are the hardest of the lizards to keep and have them alive and healthy. The tortoises come from here, everything else comes from any pet store. Theory of defense is to ball up, and when they're balled up, their quills all stick out tangent to their body, and they are quite sharp. The hedgehog, you guys were already in the petting farm, you saw the three-grounded armadillo up there, right? So his theory of defense is to ball up and say, I don't believe you can get me. These ones' theory of defense is to ball up and say, go ahead and try it, because they are quite sharp when they're balled up. After they spread out and calm down, you just pet them from the front to the back like this, and their quills will all lay down in the same direction, so they don't poke you. If you pet from nose to tail. If you pet from tail to nose, very different experience. First aid kit's down there. The hedgehogs, people often ask me if a hedgehog can shoot its quills like a porcupine. And I say, exactly the same, because they can't either. That is a myth. The reason people think that a porcupine can shoot its quills, and if its quill goes through your skin, an American porcupine has a barb on the end of their quill, so it doesn't come back out. So when you leave from the porcupine, likely at a higher rate of speed, whatever quills are stuck in you will go with you. And so that is why people think that a porcupine can shoot its quills, but they cannot, and hedgehogs only can if they're blue and on a cartoon. Yes, and this one is a very special one. You gotta be quiet and you're not gonna touch this one. I'll get some other ones out you can hold in a minute. This one is a tiny little baby one. This one just opened its eyes yesterday. It's been out of its mother's pouch for about 2 weeks. Its mama and daddy are both inside this bag right here. And that one just opened its eyes yesterday. Isn't that a cute little sugar glider? Don't touch. All right, I'm going to get out some ones that you can hold.
You're not blocking me. You can go wherever.
These ones you can hold. Here's what you need to know. Their fingernails are a little bit sharp. So if you don't want it to be a little bit sharp on you, you might want to just pet it instead of hold it. And they sometimes jump from person to person. So you can be holding it, it could jump and land on you. So, all right, if you want to hold a sugar glider, you scoop it like a pancake. And you do not scoop a pancake. You do not scoop a pancake like this. That's a squish pancake. You do not scoop a pancake by sitting waiting for the pancake to crawl onto the spatula by itself. You scoop a pancake like this. Scoop. Scoop like this. Scoop. Scoop like this. Scoop. That's how you hold a sugar glider. So you scoop, and you can't, 3 people can't scoop the same pancake at the same time, right? That doesn't work. You have pieces of pancakes. And we don't want pieces of sugar glider, so you scoop from the front. There you go. And here's another one. You don't grab it, you scoop it. Alright guys, so sugar gliders are marsupials. Marsupial means mammals with pouches. When a sugar glider is born, it is the size of one single piece of rice. It crawls on its own to its mommy's pouch and latches on and doesn't let go for weeks. The little baby one that you just saw has been out of its mother's pouch for about 3 weeks and it just opened its eyes yesterday. There's a bunch more, but I can only show you so many animals because we're about out of time. Scoop from the front. Don't grab, scoop. Or you can just grab it anyway. The smallest animal on the farm. These are micro squirrels. A micro squirrel is a squirrel. It's not a mouse, it's not a rat, it is a squirrel. Micro squirrel, the proper name of a micro squirrel is an African pygmy squirrel or an African pygmy dormouse. But the word dormouse does not come from the word mouse, it does not come from the word mouse, it comes from the word dormir, meaning to sleep. Because these are nocturnal. They sleep in the day and they're awake. They sleep in the day and they're awake at night. So these little yes, I am ready. The micro squirrels, even though the micro squirrels, even though they feel like they're vibrating when you hold them, it is because their heart rate is always above 200 beats per minute, and yet they're going to live for 7 or 8 years. These make excellent pets. The sugar gliders are good, not great. The hedgehogs are good, not great. They both are messy. These ones are super easy. They live in a 10-gallon aquarium. You clean it 4 times a year, summer, winter, spring, fall once. They cost $150 here. If you buy them from sugarglidersrs.com, they're $500. And that is where we get their food there. Their food comes in a bag like this. That lasts about a year. It costs $20 plus shipping. And they
Just don't let him go down that grate.
All right, guys, it is time to head off to the bounce houses.